In March 2011, a psychiatric patient in a German clinic stopped choosing her own goals, and doctors still cannot explain who or what was choosing them instead. She'd had electrodes implanted deep in her brain aimed at a structure the size of a grape, the Nucleus Accumbens. It's the region that assigns value to a want that lights up the instant before you reach for something. Surgeons were treating severe obsessive-compulsive disorder. The stimulation worked. Her compulsions eased. But something else shifted with them. She began pursuing ambitions she'd never had. New hobbies, new relationships, a different sense of what mattered. Her psychiatrist had a name for the file, nothing more patient B12, because what happened to her didn't fit any existing diagnosis. The first anomaly showed up in her own words. She told her care team the new goals felt like hers. Not implanted, not foreign, earned, chosen, wanted from the inside. But she could also point to the exact day they'd appeared, the day the stimulator was switched on. A goal that arrives on a schedule isn't a discovery about yourself. It's an instruction, and she couldn't tell the difference between the two. The obvious theory was placebo or simple mood lift. Ease someone's anxiety, and of course their ambitions look different. A person freed from compulsion finally has room to want things. That explanation satisfied the review board for months. Depression lifts, motivation returns, nothing mysterious there. Case closed on paper, except the team turned the stimulator off without telling her which sessions were active. The new goals didn't fade gradually, the way mood-driven motivation should. They switched off within minutes of the device going dark, like a light with no dimmer. And when the current came back, so did the ambitions, the exact same ones, not new ones assembled fresh from her circumstances. That rules out mood. Mood drifts. This didn't drift, it toggled. A placebo doesn't reboot to the identical preference every single time the switch flips, and hers did repeatedly under conditions the patient herself never saw coming. Here's the detail that still keeps the ethicists up at night. The Nucleus Accumbens isn't supposed to generate goals at all. It's a valuation center. It grades how much you want something you already know about. It shouldn't be able to manufacture the object of desire itself. But in patient B12, and in at least 2 other anonymized cases from the same surgical program, the region appeared to be doing exactly that, producing not just the pull toward a goal, but the goal's content, specific, detailed, and stable across power cycles. One patient developed a sudden, intense drive to reconcile with an estranged sibling, a goal she said she'd never once considered before the implant. Turn the current off, the drive vanished within the hour. Turn it on, it returned, word for word the same in her own description of it. Neuroscientists have a term for the reward prediction that normally flows through this structure, dopamine signaling tied to expectation. But expectation of what? The circuitry was supposed to rate desires already present elsewhere in the brain, in the cortex, in memory. It wasn't supposed to be the author, and yet the timing left no other candidate. Competing explanations kept collapsing. Electrical spread to nearby structures, ruled out. Imaging showed the stimulation stayed contained. Confabulation. The brain inventing a story to explain an unexplainable feeling. Plausible, except confabulated stories vary in the retelling, and hers didn't. The goal came back with identical specificity every reactivation, down to which sibling, which apology. Unconscious memory surfacing under stimulation, the leading contender for a while, until researchers found no trace of the goal's content anywhere in her prior recorded sessions, journals, or interviews. Something was assembling a fully formed ambition in real time, and doing it identically, and the only variable that predicted its presence was a switch nobody let her see. The clinic eventually published the case with the patient's consent, flagged as unresolved. No mechanism proposed. No follow-up explains how a structure built only to score existing desires began generating brand new ones on command, identical each time the current returned. If the Nucleus Accumbens can manufacture what you want, not just how badly you want it, the question stops being medical. It becomes personal. Whose goal was it, hers or the machine's? Nobody has been able to say.